What about, as you said there, what about people that maybe come to you as a one-off? You know, they come to you with a problem, and I'm probably being quite selfish here because often people that approach myself, it's they've got a problem, they need me to fix it. So how do you deal with that?
How I deal with it is acknowledging that the problem is never the problem.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
So what is the presenting problem? We need to look past that. And that's the work then. It's holding someone there, asking them questions, helping them to then see beyond the surface level issues and dive deeper into what's the real issues, and hold them in that space, that safe space, that trusting space, and using whatever then tools I have. I mean, it might be music, it might be drawing. I actually caught up with a guy who I coached a little bit 4 years ago, and we reflected on the vision board that he created at the time. And it was amazing to see how far he came, but it was through an exercise called Draw Your Future, where you draw your current reality, and then you contrast that with what you want to be, but you make the current reality really, you know, unappealing. You want it to be repulsive, but the vision to be something that pulls you in.
Definitely. And with regards to that type of approach to you, do you have those types of approaches from, I mean, for example, would you ever have like a business leader or a manager or a hiring manager approach you and say, do you know what, Dave, we have a team in our business that we see their potential, but there's blockers there. We need to see their behaviors changing. They're maybe not completely bought in to seeing a coach, but you know, we think you're the person that can come in and transform that team around. I mean, would you take on things like that, or do you know, how would you, I guess, consult with those hiring managers? Because I hear this a lot from businesses, and I totally agree. Often hiring managers will phone me with what they think is the problem, and it's absolutely not. So you have to kind of almost listen to the symptoms and then work out, right, this is actually your problem. So have you thought about this? But how do you approach hiring managers or companies that approach you with whatever they deem that problem to be, and then essentially going and turn that situation around? Is that is that something that you could do? You know, if there were customers out there that had either employees, singular or plural, that they wanted to retain, but they've kind of they've done everything they could to transform them and change their behaviors. Would that be something that you would do?
Probably not typically, because I think there's an inherent assumption there that someone on the other end is someone that needs to be fixed.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's not what this is all about. You know, from a coaching perspective, from a human belief perspective, I believe that, you know, every single person has exactly what they need within themselves to create whatever they want to create, to be whoever they want to be. I just provide them the space and the tools and the attention, the presence, the love and care and challenge to allow them to then access that, to ultimately become better at being who they are. So then they become better at what they do. The mistake most people make is they focus on the doing. It's like, well, how can you do that better? Well, actually, that's not the right place to start. Start off with who you're being and who you want to be, and then allow the doing to emerge from that place.
100%.